From the moment of birth, the universe whispers to certain souls in ways that are subtle yet undeniable. Some of us carry within a quiet knowing, an innate sense that life is not merely a series of random events, but a carefully woven tapestry in which our presence has significance. This awareness, though often hidden beneath the layers of everyday living, is the first sign that we were chosen from birth. It is an inner compass that never lies, quietly pointing toward a purpose that is ours alone to fulfill. Those who have felt this are never truly lost, for deep within there is a guiding light, always reminding them that their life is meant to matter. The second sign reveals itself through experiences that are not easily explained. Even in childhood, there are those who sense the unseen, who intuitively understand the movements of life around them, and who feel guided by forces beyond ordinary comprehension. These early awakenings manifest as vivid dreams, moments of profound intuition, or a mysterious pull toward truths that others often overlook. They are not accidents, they are invitations, guiding the soul to recognize its connection to the infinite and to awaken to the deeper reality that permeates all things. A third, unmistakable sign of being chosen is the natural emergence of compassion and empathy. Some hearts are born wide open, sensing the pain and joy of others as if they were their own. This sensitivity is not a weakness but a sacred strength, a calling to respond to the world with love, understanding, and healing. It compels action, inspires kindness, and fosters a deep alignment with the greater harmony of life. Those who walk this path often find that their lives are touched by synchronicities, encounters and signs that reinforce the knowledge that their journey is guided by purpose and that their efforts ripple far beyond what the eye can see. Being chosen from birth does not mean a life of ease. Rather, it often brings challenges that test the resilience of the spirit. Life presents obstacles that refine character, awaken inner strength, and deepen spiritual understanding. Yet, even in the darkest moments, there is a steady current of support, a divine thread running through every trial, guiding one toward awakening. Those who recognize these signs embrace them, understanding that each difficulty is a teacher, each moment of despair a portal to deeper insight. The call of being chosen is also expressed through a profound attraction to mystical truths and higher understanding. The soul hungers for knowledge that transcends the surface of life, for wisdom that reveals the unity of all existence. This pursuit is not merely intellectual, it is a living, breathing experience that opens the heart to consciousness itself, showing that the life we inhabit is both deeply personal and intimately connected to the greater whole. Finally, the chosen soul will notice the gentle, sometimes astonishing presence of synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that feel orchestrated, that direct, guide, and confirm the path. They are the universe speaking in signs, affirming that no step is taken in isolation, that every encounter, every moment, is imbued with intention and purpose. To see these signs is to awaken to the profound truth that life is alive, and that we are never truly separate from the divine current that flows through all things. In recognizing these three powerful signs, the inner knowing of purpose, the early spiritual awareness, the deep compassion for life, and the guidance of synchronicities, we begin to understand the sacred nature of our own existence. We see that being chosen from birth is not about privilege, but about awakening to the infinite possibilities of life, about stepping fully into the consciousness that knows itself as part of the eternal. It is an invitation to live not merely for the self, but for the harmony, healing, and illumination of all. Those who embrace this awareness awaken not only to who they are, but to the profound truth that life itself is sacred, and that each soul has a purpose that shines eternally. From the very beginning, some souls carry within them an unshakable sense of purpose, a quiet inner knowing that life is not random, but intentional, designed with a meaning far greater than ordinary existence. This is not learned from parents, teachers, or society. It is woven into the very fabric of their being, an invisible thread that connects them to the greater flow of life. Even in the earliest years, there is a subtle awareness that they are meant for something beyond the familiar routines and expectations of the world. It manifests as a feeling that their life has a mission, a calling, a destination that is uniquely theirs. It is not something they can fully articulate, and often it feels mysterious, almost secret, yet it is persistent, returning in quiet moments, in dreams, in fleeting insights, and in the stirrings of the heart. This innate sense of purpose often sets them apart. They may notice that while others are content to follow paths laid before them, they feel a gentle restlessness, an inner prompting to seek, to explore, to understand, to contribute in ways that feel aligned with a higher calling. There is a recognition that life is not merely about survival or accumulation, but about fulfillment that resonates on the deepest levels of consciousness. It is a pull toward significance, not for the ego, but for the soul's expression in the world. This knowing often gives rise to a subtle confidence, an inner authority that guides decisions, choices, and actions even when the external circumstances seem unclear or uncertain. Life itself, with its joys and struggles, becomes a mirror reflecting this sense of purpose. Challenges and setbacks are experienced not as meaningless burdens, but as opportunities for refinement and growth, as ways to clarify and strengthen the direction of one's life. Successes and moments of flow feel affirming, resonating with the inner sense that one is moving in alignment with a calling that is uniquely theirs. This awareness can be quiet, almost hidden beneath the surface, yet it is unwavering, a constant presence that reassures even in moments of doubt or fear. Those who carry this innate sense of purpose often notice that the world itself responds to their alignment. Opportunities arise that seem synchronistic, relationships appear that support the unfolding of their path, and guidance often comes through intuition, subtle signs, or inner whispers. This is the natural effect of a life attuned to the inner compass of purpose. It is not imposed from without, but emerges spontaneously, a reflection of the soul's inner alignment with the greater intelligence of life. To live with this knowing is to walk a path of conscious awakening, where every step, every encounter, every experience carries significance. The innate sense of purpose is a sacred compass, guiding toward the life one was meant to lead, illuminating the connection between self and the infinite, and awakening the understanding that one's existence is not an accident, but a deliberate, divinely orchestrated journey. From the earliest moments of life, some souls are touched by an awareness that extends beyond the visible world, a knowing that there is more to existence than what can be seen, touched, or measured. This early spiritual awareness often emerges subtly, through experiences that feel extraordinary to the child, but are difficult to explain in words. They may perceive the presence of something greater, feel a connection to an unseen guidance, or sense energies and truths that elude others. Even before they understand the concepts of religion or philosophy, there is an inner recognition that life contains layers of meaning, that reality is alive with intelligence, and that they themselves are intimately connected to that intelligence. It is as though the soul remembers its origin and carries the faint echo of a higher truth, whispering gently in moments of quiet reflection, in dreams, or in the spontaneous insights that arise unexpectedly. This awareness often manifests in vivid ways. A child may dream with remarkable clarity, remembering experiences that feel more real than ordinary reality, or they may sense the emotions and intentions of others with uncanny accuracy. There can be a natural attraction to meditation, contemplation, or simply being still, moments when the soul seems to stretch toward a higher understanding. Ordinary life may feel flat or incomplete at times, as if there is a deeper current flowing just beneath the surface that calls for recognition. There is often a curiosity about mysteries, a desire to know not just the how of life but the why, a pull toward understanding the unseen laws that govern existence. For those who carry this early spiritual awareness, intuition becomes a trusted companion. Decisions are often guided by an inner voice, by subtle impressions, or by feelings of alignment and resonance rather than logic alone. Life presents signs and synchronicities that seem orchestrated, reinforcing the awareness that the universe is not chaotic but orderly and intelligent. This awareness encourages trust in the unseen, a surrender to a higher guidance that unfolds in perfect timing even when the external circumstances appear uncertain or challenging. This spiritual sensitivity also cultivates an innate openness to truth, a willingness to look beyond appearances and question assumptions. It fosters a natural recognition that material achievements or social approval are not the measure of fulfillment, and that real life is found in alignment with the deeper currents of consciousness. Those touched by this early awakening often find themselves drawn to spiritual teachings, mystical experiences, or practices that reveal the unity of all things. They are subtly guided to understand that life is a canvas for the soul's expression, and that every experience is an opportunity to awaken more fully to the presence and intelligence of the divine. Early spiritual awareness is therefore not an accidental trait, but a sacred marker, a signal that the soul has been prepared to recognize the invisible, to sense the eternal in the moment, and to awaken to its true nature. It is a quiet but profound gift, shaping the inner life and guiding the journey toward consciousness, insight, and the realization of a deeper, more meaningful existence. From the moment some souls enter this world, there is a depth of feeling that sets them apart, a heart that naturally responds to the suffering and joy of others with a profound sensitivity. This is not learned behavior, nor is it a product of circumstance. It is an innate quality, a spiritual imprint that signals the soul's unique connection to the greater flow of life. Those who carry this gift are often acutely aware of emotions that others cannot see or comprehend, sensing pain, fear, joy, or hope as if it were their own. They are moved not merely by sympathy, which is a surface response, but by a resonance that connects them directly to the emotional and spiritual currents of those around them, prompting a quiet desire to comfort, support, and heal. This natural compassion manifests in ways that can seem almost mystical. From a young age, they are drawn to acts of kindness without expectation, reaching out to those who are struggling or lonely, or simply offering a presence that calms and reassures. Their lives often intersect with moments that require discernment, patience, and understanding, and they are drawn to situations where their empathy can serve a purpose greater than themselves. It is as if their souls recognize the interconnectedness of all beings and feel compelled to act in alignment with this understanding. They intuitively know that every life touches another, and that every act of love or support contributes to the unfolding harmony of existence. For such souls, the experience of empathy is not passive. It is a living, breathing awareness that guides actions and decisions, often inspiring choices that prioritize harmony, compassion, and the alleviation of suffering. They perceive subtle energies and emotional undercurrents that most overlook, and they respond in ways that reflect an inner alignment with truth and goodness. This sensitivity, though beautiful, also requires courage and discernment, for the heart is exposed to the weight of the world's pain, and yet it continues to function as a channel of light and love, refusing to close or harden in the face of challenge. The natural compassion of these souls is often accompanied by a sense of calling, a quiet recognition that their sensitivity is not incidental but purposeful. Life presents opportunities where their empathy can act as a bridge, connecting hearts, healing wounds, and fostering understanding. Even in ordinary interactions, there is a subtle impact, a resonance that uplifts and comforts others simply by their presence, by the energy they carry, and by the depth of attention they bring to every relationship. This quality draws people to them, not for what they can give materially, but for the recognition and validation of the shared human experience, the acknowledgement of suffering and joy as sacred expressions of life itself. Those who embody natural compassion and empathy live in a state of ongoing attunement, a continuous awakening to the unity of all life. They recognize the unseen threads that connect each soul, the subtle laws that govern interaction, and the divine purpose that calls them to serve with love. This innate ability is a mark of being chosen, a sign that the soul carries within it a mission of healing, understanding, and illumination, guiding not only themselves but all whom they touch toward a higher consciousness of care, connection, and spiritual awakening. From the earliest moments of life, those who are chosen from birth often encounter challenges that seem far beyond what is ordinary, experiences that test the very fabric of their being, yet within these trials lies a hidden blessing. These difficulties are not punishments or mere coincidences, they are sacred opportunities for the soul to awaken to its true strength, to recognize an inner reservoir of resilience that is both unshakable and eternal. Life presents hardships in many forms: loss, disappointment, uncertainty, or moments of deep inner struggle, but each one carries within it a subtle invitation to turn inward, to discover that the source of courage, peace, and guidance is already present within. Those who are touched by this resilience do not rely solely on external solutions, for they sense that the greatest power lies in recognizing their own connection to the infinite, in awakening to the unbroken current of spirit that flows through every circumstance. This resilience is quiet yet profound, not loud or forceful, but steady and unwavering. It manifests as a deep trust that life, even in its most challenging moments, is guided by an intelligence that knows their path and supports their growth. They learn that obstacles are not interruptions, but essential teachers, showing where the soul has yet to expand, where attachment, fear, or self-doubt still obscure the clarity of inner knowing. Each trial becomes a mirror reflecting the truth of who they are, an opportunity to align more fully with their purpose, to release what no longer serves, and to step into a greater awareness of life's intelligence. Those who embody this resilience often experience a remarkable ability to rise above circumstances that might overwhelm others. They do not resist the flow of life or cling desperately to outcomes. Instead, they move with the currents, trusting that each challenge carries the seed of transformation. Even when faced with disappointment or suffering, there is a quiet steadiness, a knowing that the present moment, with all its difficulties, is part of a larger orchestration designed to awaken courage, insight, and spiritual strength. This inner fortitude is not rigid or unfeeling, it is compassionate, embracing the lessons of life while remaining centered in a deeper awareness of spirit. Resilience through challenges also cultivates humility and discernment. For those who endure and grow understand that true strength is not measured by power over others or material success, but by the ability to maintain alignment with the divine current even in adversity. Life teaches patience, faith, and the recognition that all experiences, whether joyous or painful, are part of a sacred journey of awakening. The soul learns to trust itself, to recognize the guidance of intuition, and to move through life with an unshakable inner confidence that transcends temporary conditions. Ultimately, the trials and tests of life are a profound sign of being chosen, a sacred calling to awaken to the depth of the self and the infinite presence that sustains it. Through resilience, the soul comes to see that nothing can truly harm it, that every challenge is a doorway to greater understanding, and that the inner strength discovered along the way is a reflection of the eternal power that resides in all life, guiding each chosen soul toward awakening, purpose, and fulfillment. From the earliest stirrings of the soul, some individuals feel a subtle yet undeniable pull toward that which transcends ordinary experience, a longing for truths that reach beyond the surface of life and point toward the infinite. This attraction is not taught, nor is it born of curiosity alone. It is an inner magnet, guiding the seeker toward the deeper realities that lie hidden behind the material world. There is an innate sense that the world as it appears is not all that exists, that reality is layered with intelligence, purpose, and unseen forces that shape life in ways that ordinary perception cannot always comprehend. Those who carry this calling feel compelled to explore, to study, and to engage with the mysteries of existence, drawn to meditation, contemplation, and the pursuit of wisdom that illuminates the unseen dimensions of life. This attraction often manifests in subtle ways from childhood. Even without formal teachings, they may be captivated by stories of mystical experiences, by the study of sacred texts, or by practices that quiet the mind and open the heart. There is a natural resonance with teachings that speak of unity, consciousness, and the eternal nature of the soul. Ordinary explanations of life, focused solely on what is tangible or measurable, rarely satisfy them. There is an inner knowing that something far greater underlies all forms and phenomena. This longing creates a sense of purpose, guiding them toward experiences and practices that nurture spiritual growth and awaken the latent capacities of awareness, intuition, and inner peace. The attraction to higher truths also shapes how they perceive the world and engage with life. They recognize that patterns, energies, and divine intelligence are present in all aspects of existence, and they learn to attune themselves to these currents. Ordinary events often take on extraordinary significance, revealing the interconnectedness of all things and the presence of subtle guidance that cannot be seen with the physical eye. This inner pull encourages them to question assumptions, to seek understanding beyond appearances, and to trust that reality has layers of meaning waiting to be discovered. It is both a call and a compass, guiding decisions, relationships, and life paths in alignment with a higher consciousness. As they follow this attraction, there is often a deepening sense of unity, a recognition that the mystical truths they pursue are not distant or abstract, but intimately present in every moment, waiting to be perceived and lived. Life becomes a field of exploration, a sacred laboratory for understanding the interplay of the seen and unseen, the material and the spiritual. They develop discernment, learning to distinguish between surface impressions and deeper realities, and gradually awaken to the realization that the pursuit of higher truths is not an end in itself, but a gateway to experiencing the eternal presence within, which is the source of all wisdom, guidance, and peace. This attraction to mystical or higher truths is a hallmark of the chosen soul, a signal that their path is guided toward awakening, and that their life carries a spiritual dimension from the beginning. It draws them ever inward, toward the recognition of self as consciousness itself, and outward, toward alignment with the deeper intelligence that animates all creation, calling them to live with awareness, purpose, and the unfolding realization of their own divinity. Some souls, from the very beginning, experience life as though it carries a hidden thread of meaning, a subtle orchestration that connects events, people, and moments in ways that cannot be explained by chance alone. These unusual synchronicities or signs are markers of a deeper alignment, indications that the universe itself responds to the presence of a soul chosen from birth, guiding them toward awakening and purpose. They are not random coincidences, but intentional echoes of the greater intelligence that flows through all life. Reminders that the path is never solitary and that every step carries significance beyond what the eye can see. Those who are sensitive to these signs often notice patterns repeating, moments that feel orchestrated, or encounters that arrive with perfect timing, as though invisible hands are guiding the unfolding of their journey. These synchronicities can take countless forms. A conversation may provide precisely the insight needed at the exact moment, or a meeting with a stranger may open a doorway that was previously unseen. Numbers, symbols, or repeated imagery may appear with unusual frequency, not as mere curiosity, but as gentle nudges from the universe, directing attention, confirming choices, or highlighting paths that resonate with the soul's purpose. Even the most ordinary experiences can carry extraordinary meaning when perceived through the lens of awareness, as life begins to reveal its hidden patterns, demonstrating that nothing occurs in isolation and that all events are interconnected within a greater whole. Those who notice these signs develop a heightened sensitivity to the subtle currents of life. They begin to trust intuition more deeply, recognizing that guidance often comes in the form of quiet impressions, fleeting thoughts, or the alignment of circumstances that seem too precise to be accidental. They understand that the universe is responsive, reflecting the inner state of consciousness outward, and that paying attention to these signs strengthens the connection between self and the greater intelligence that governs life. There is a growing awareness that every encounter, every moment, carries the potential for awakening, and that by observing, reflecting, and responding consciously, they participate in the co-creation of their own spiritual journey. Unusual synchronicities also cultivate gratitude, humility, and attentiveness, for the soul begins to see life itself as sacred, filled with messages and guidance at every turn. The signs act as teachers, gently reminding the individual that they are not separate from the divine order and that their path is guided by purpose. Even when the challenges of life seem confusing or overwhelming, they reinforce the sense of being chosen, affirming that every experience, every coincidence, and every moment of clarity is part of a deliberate, unfolding design to awaken the soul and reveal the inherent intelligence and love present in all creation. Through these extraordinary alignments, life becomes a living dialogue between the soul and the infinite, a continual unfolding of awareness in which each sign illuminates the next step, each synchronicity confirms the path, and every moment is infused with meaning. Those who embrace this awareness awaken not only to the guidance present in life, but also to the profound truth that existence itself is alive, intelligent, and responsive, and that their journey is an integral part of a sacred, eternal flow that carries them toward purpose, understanding, and spiritual awakening. When we look closely at the journey of a soul chosen from birth, we begin to see a pattern, a subtle orchestration that reveals itself in the quiet knowing, the inner guidance, and the unmistakable resonance of life itself. Each of the signs, the innate sense of purpose, the early spiritual awareness, the natural compassion and empathy, the resilience through challenges, the attraction to higher truths, and the unusual synchronicities or signs, forms a thread in a tapestry that is both intricate and infinitely wise. Taken together, they tell a story not of chance, but of intention, a story in which the soul is guided, supported, and nurtured toward awakening and fulfillment. It is a reminder that life is never random, that every experience carries meaning, and that each individual is connected to a greater intelligence that moves through every circumstance with precision and care. To recognize these signs is to awaken to the understanding that being chosen is not about privilege or external recognition, but about the unfolding of consciousness, the gradual revelation of one's alignment with the divine order that permeates all existence. Those who carry this calling are invited to trust themselves, to follow the inner compass of purpose, and to honor the whispers of guidance that arise in quiet reflection, in intuition, and in the subtle alignments of life. The challenges they face are not obstacles to fear or resist, but teachers designed to awaken inner strength and clarity, to reveal the depth of resilience and the enduring power of the soul. Each test, each difficulty, each moment of doubt or struggle becomes an opportunity to step more fully into the awareness of being guided, supported, and loved by the intelligence of life itself. At the same time, the presence of compassion and empathy reminds them that the path of awakening is never solitary. Their sensitivity to the emotions and needs of others becomes a channel through which love, healing, and understanding flow. The recognition of interconnectedness deepens their awareness that every life is touched by every other, and that the act of living consciously, with care and attention, contributes to the greater harmony of existence. Through this awareness, every encounter, every choice, and every act of service becomes imbued with purpose, a reflection of the divine current that animates all life. The pull toward mystical or higher truths, along with the remarkable synchronicities that appear along the way, serve as both confirmation and encouragement. They are invitations to step into deeper awareness, to perceive the unseen intelligence that guides all events, and to align fully with the path that is uniquely theirs. Life begins to reveal itself as a sacred dialogue, where every moment carries a message, and every experience contains a blessing that strengthens the connection to the infinite. In recognizing these 6 signs, we awaken not only to our own potential, but to the profound truth that life is alive, intelligent, and meaningful. We see that each soul is an instrument of the divine, placed intentionally in this world to unfold, to awaken, and to bring light, love, and wisdom to all. To embrace this awareness is to live fully, consciously, and joyfully, walking with the certainty that we are chosen, supported, and guided from birth, and that every step of our journey is part of a sacred, eternal awakening that carries us ever closer to the infinite truth within ourselves.